Welcome to Life, Biz and All That Jazz, the podcast where real talk meets transformation. If you're navigating your mental health, healing from trauma, or just want to live a life that's more aligned to what you really believe, then this podcast is for you. Every week, we talk about the raw, we talk about the messy, we talk about the different healing modalities, and I really have a lot of guests on here or solo deep dives with myself, like today's episode. But the reason I like to have a lot of different guests is because we're all different. We all want something different in our lives, and what I share might not resonate with you, but what one of my guests share might resonate with you. So today's episode is a special one. I am in a studio in Bali. When I say that, it sounds so for real because I've been here for the last 5 weeks, and it's been something that I've wanted to do for years. I've wanted to build my business, be able to travel, be able to work from anywhere with Wi-Fi, and I've done it. So it's a really big accomplishment for myself. And it's also the 1 year podversary. That's what I'm calling this. I'm calling it the podversary. So I've been doing the podcast for 1 year. I wanted to just share a little bit about the year and what I've learned myself. And one of the biggest things is I've learned that I didn't expect at all is just actually to see how far I've come. And I never thought sharing my journey and really diving back and talking about my traumas and talking about my mental health would actually get me to where I am today. But actually going back and really uncovering a lot more has actually showed that I've done a lot more healing than what I thought I did. Originally starting the podcast because I went through a lot on my own, and I don't want anyone to ever feel alone. I feel like there's so many people in this world. Nobody ever needs to feel alone. And that's why I started it. And here I am 1 year in. We're up to about 40 episodes, which is really exciting because I did have a little bit of a break in between, and there's so many more amazing episodes to come. And one thing I really want to do is be able to bring a lot of different people. I'm constantly bringing in different guests to be able to help you. That's my overall goal. And I think when I started this, I had a certain goal for no one to feel alone. And I feel like I've accomplished that with so many of you have reached out. So many of you have, told me that what I'm sharing and the purpose that I have isn't just for nothing. It's not easy for me to show up all the time and share everything. But I know my bigger goal and to share and to help everyone else is bigger than anything that I could ever achieve. The thing I really wanted to touch on is being proud of yourself. And that's something that has taken me a long time to be able to build up to. I think we get so stuck in the fast-paced world and life and wanting to be perfect and wanting to have everything ready and done now that we just forget the main purpose, and that is just to be happy. And I think that's something that I've really learned these last 5 weeks. Being in Bali is just a very happy place, and the energy is happy, the people are happy. We live in a world, and this is specifically in Australia, everyone is just go, go, go. We're go, 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 trying to chase the next best thing, but we don't sit and look and just be grateful for what we have. And that's something that I really touched on, I think, the last 5 weeks, is just to really step back and to know that everything that I have is what I need. And that's something that I really want to share with you, is that you have everything that you need. And if you listen to my recent episode with Nika, you would know that she does a lot of healing and a lot of modalities and training when it comes to you have what you need to heal. You have what you need to take that next step of life. And once you really understand and just can see it from a bigger picture and just be proud of like where you are right now, the destination of where you're going, it doesn't matter. All that really matters is what you're doing right now, and that, you're constantly putting one foot in front of the other. It's not easy to wake up every single day and say to yourself, all right, I'm going to have the best day. I'm going to do this, this, and this, especially if you struggle with your mental health. I understand that you're going to have bad days, but it's really working through those bad days and building that mindset and having that resilience to know that all right, today's going to be a bad day, but tomorrow's going to be a better day. I think while I've been here in Bali and traveling alone, I've met so many amazing people. And when I've talked to people as well that are in similar journeys to me and we've just clicked straight away, it's really interesting because you don't look at yourself to be in a certain position, but then when you're here and you're on your own, you actually have to sit and think. And I've had days where I've really been like lonely and on my own, but I think having the certain things that I like to do to bring me back to my happy, more positive self has really, really helped. And a few things that I've shared before, but I'm going to share them again today, is having a morning routine that is easy for you, but also can help you shift things. So one of the biggest things for me is I love music. Music brings me so much joy. And obviously before my sobriety journey, it didn't bring me as much joy. It was more associated to partying. But now if I'm feeling flat, I just put a good soundtrack on and it changes my whole mood. I think eating really good foods is another really big thing for me. And I've started running. I am a runner now. And I never thought that I would actually enjoy running. But in Bali, I have been running. And it's quite funny because I was talking to a few people and they're like, why would you start like running in Bali? It's hot, it's humid. And I picked the worst times to run. I literally run at lunchtime and it's like 75% humidity and most of the time it's really hot. But anyway, that's something that I wanted to do. So that's something that I find running in the mornings or the afternoon has really, really helped me. And these are like 3 simple things and you'll be able to have your own situation, like your own things that work for you. But I think that everything's a lot simpler than what we think it is. And like I was saying before, we do have everything that we need. Another big thing I wanted to talk about over the last 12 months of doing this podcast is relationships. For myself, the relationship with myself that has grown. I'm nearly 2.5 years alcohol free now. But one thing as well is my relationship with other people. And then that's something that I've really been able to step out of my comfort zone with, especially having different guests on the podcast and learning and just really seeing who I am more as a person, but then what I can offer to other people when it comes to friendships, when it comes to partnerships, and when it comes to relationships like this and having guests on the podcast. I think relationships that we have throughout our life, they do change and we do need to get to a point where we need to work on them a little bit more. One thing I think that I've noticed over the last 12 months, especially with doing the podcast and like doing that work in behind the scenes and seeing, how far I've actually come, is building stronger relationships, but also not being afraid to say things in certain relationships that might offend someone to begin with. But I think it's really about setting those boundaries and having that strong mindset to know that you need to be able to speak up. If you want to get to where you want to be and you want to have that aligned life, you really need to be able to set boundaries in all areas of your life. And I know I've touched a lot on environment and that being a big one, but when it comes to relationships and who you have around you, that's another very important one. So 12 months of the podcast, the next 12 months is going to be really, really exciting. I've got more guests. Like I said, I'm here in Bali recording today, and that's just something that for me, I'm really, really, really proud of, but then just really excited to see where we take the podcast for the next 12 months. So that's enough from me for today. I just wanted to jump on and have a little quick episode, but just remember it's progress, not perfection, and you are not broken, you are becoming.